we are just 1 week away from the US presidential election, where the Latino vote is said to be the most influential minority bloc in deciding the next president of the United States.
We are an immigrant or a migrant population that, whether 2 generations removed from the initial immigration or 3 generations, being Latinx, being Hispanics, continues to be such an important component of who they are.
Based on our population as Hispanic or Latino Americans, we should have 18 senators and 77 members of Congress to represent us correctly. We don't. We have 4 senators and we have 41 members of Congress.
As the size and political influence of the US Latino population grows, so too should the importance of Latin America for US policymakers.
First of all, we have to be a leader in Latin America. It's so important for us in so many ways. Over 40% of all the exports that we send off as a country goes to Latin America. So they're so key. And if we don't pay attention, especially during this pandemic, and show that we can work with them on the vaccine and the distributions and how we're going to help them, we're going to have a vacuum.
I think it's very important that we recognize how important all of our nearer allies are, the whole Western Hemisphere. I know that the Monroe Doctrine was a blunt instrument, but what was behind that was we're all in it together in the Western Hemisphere.
So building relations with Latin America, I personally brought the Virginia calling cards. I went to Mexico and Chile, Colombia. We are now selling Virginia oysters in Mexico and Colombia. We got our Virginia wines down there. I loved it. If we get a fair, open market, I just think relationships are going to be much better working together so that both sides benefit.
We obviously are aware of just how important Latinos are as a voting bloc, and obviously there's tons of diversity within that group.
If you only begin to look at communities of color through this very narrow lens of, they're conservative, they're progressive, they're Catholic, they're Protestant, they're this, they're that, then you lose sight of what that community is about. You lose sight of its rich history, you lose sight of its value to the present as well as the future, and you lose sight to the opportunity to have their voice become leadership within the political structure.